Hello, well my name is Scientist Jimmy. I'm from a place called High Touch, High Tech Science Made Fun. And Science Made Fun's a whole group of scientists like myself. We get to come around to schools like yours and teach by doing a lot of fun science experiments. So how many of you want to do some science experiments today? Awesome! Well, it looks like we're in the right place because you guys are going to be the scientists. You'll be doing all the experiments, not just myself. Now, to start off with, to be an awesome scientist, you have to be able to make great observations. And observations are just noticing the things going on around you. So let's test your observation skills really quick. We're going to start off with a styrofoam cup. Alright, a lot of times you might drink hot chocolate or something like that out of these. So let's go ahead and put out our 3 cups. Get a little bit more room here. Let's pour some water into this one. And make sure you're paying attention. Which one is the water in? The middle? Alright, good job. Keep paying attention. Just keep paying attention. Now which one's the water in? This one? Alright. Make sure you're watching, make sure you're watching. Now which one? You're keeping up. I'm going to have to go a little bit faster, just a little bit faster. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Let's turn one over. You know which one it's not. Turn that one back over. You know which one it's not. Oh. Take a guess. Are you confused yet? This one? Nope. This one? Nope. It's got to be the middle, right? What happened? Alright, well, I'll show you what happened. The water is still in there, alright? It's actually in this very cool stuff that we're going to talk a lot about. This is something scientists have come up with for all different types of uses. One, maybe to help conserve water, and what I mean is it helps to protect plants from a drought. So let's say plants need water to live, alright, so it rains on your farms and your gardens. And let's say it doesn't rain for a whole entire month. What could happen to those plants and trees? That's right, they could die. So by mixing this stuff in with the soil, when it rains, the plants drink whatever they need. The extra water is absorbed inside of this stuff and stays down in the soil. So if there's no rain for a whole month, then the water leaks out of it, goes back into the soil, and the plants and trees can drink from it until it rains again. It helps them survive. This is one thing scientists have come up with to help try to conserve soil. Now today's program, it's all about ecosystems, our own ecosystems that we live in, and pretty much how to protect those. Alright, now an ecosystem is just a place where things live. It's the plants, the animals, and their interaction or relationship with the things around them. What I mean is, let's take a rabbit. A rabbit needs air, which is not alive, but it still relies on air to live. It needs water, it needs food, it needs shelter, and it needs space. So let's picture a rabbit's ecosystem. Alright, a rabbit, you have a nice beautiful carrot patch here with some rabbits coming along and eating some carrots, and there's a fox in the woods nearby. So this fox, it sees the rabbit, comes running through, gets that little bunny, goes off and eats it. And you see this, and it makes you kind of sad because bunnies are so cute and they're cuddly, so you really want to get rid of the fox. So you go next door to your neighbor who happens to like hunting fox. So you let him know. He comes over to get the fox, and the fox runs off and never comes back. So you know fox are pretty smart. So you're nice and happy. The bunnies are happy. They've got plenty of food. It's a great neighborhood. More bunnies move in. They have babies, raise their families. Now you have grandparent bunnies, mom and dad bunnies, baby bunnies, boyfriend bunnies, girlfriend bunnies, bunnies everywhere. And they eat all of the carrots. Now, because we thought we could help out the ecosystem by getting rid of one animal, got rid of the fox, there's no more fox. There's no more carrots because the bunnies ate them all. There's no more bunnies. They starved. They ran out of food. They actually died. And that soil that the carrots held in place has now been washed away by the storms, and we're left with just a bunch of rock. We completely destroyed an ecosystem by messing up the balance and not understanding everything about it. And humans do this all the time, not always on purpose, but let's say just with throwing garbage away. If you throw away the wrong type of garbage, it can cause pollution. And our landfills are getting bigger and bigger every year because of different types of pollution. For instance, styrofoam. Those cups we used in the beginning, Styrofoam takes up about 30% of the space in our landfills. We use about 200 million cubic feet of styrofoam every single year. Now that number is really hard to imagine, but this bag, if you put two of them together, that's about 1 cubic foot. So it'd be like everyone in the United States taking a piece of styrofoam the size of this, putting it in a pile, and then making this huge pile, and then throwing a bunch of garbage on top of it and leaving it there. And that styrofoam, it's not going to go away. If you left this cup sitting outside in the sunlight, the sun is called photodegradable. It would start to biodegrade after about 500 years. But if you put it in the landfill and cover it with trash, it pretty much will never go away. So wouldn't it be cool if we could take all that styrofoam that's taking up so much space in our landfills, and if we could just shrink it down right about super tiny, just really small. If we could just shrink it down so it took up almost no space, would that be pretty amazing? Well, styrofoam, the way it's made, first of all, it's made from natural resources. Then we take this and we use poisonous chemicals to make the styrofoam. The styrofoam then takes up space in the landfill, so we take our natural resources, we make it with stuff that's not good for us, we turn it into this that's going to be here forever and basically make a bunch of pollution. But it's made out of about 95% air. So by popping it, we can just let the air out of it and shrink it down to almost nothing. Now this is not water that I'm putting it in. It's actually something called acetone, which you could find at home in stuff like fingernail polish remover. So if it's in fingernail polish remover, do you think it's a good idea to take fingernail polish remover and pour it inside your styrofoam cups? See what would happen if you were to put. It would dissolve just like that. You'd be left with a big mess on your table, but at the same time, that is a cool experiment you could show your parents at home on how to shrink down your styrofoam. Think of it like this. If it's made almost completely out of air, just like a balloon, if you were to fill up this room completely with balloons from the floor to the roof and the walls, and someone said, hey, can you clean up this room and get rid of all these balloons? Would you use 200 trash bags and fill it up? No, you would just pop them, right? Same thing with styrofoam. Why don't we just pop them, let the air right out of it, just like that? It'd take up much less space.